For years, we've been told that canned sardines are a superfood, especially for older adults. They're packed with omega-3s, south, calcium, and protein, great for your heart and brain. Many of my patients say, "Doctor, I always have sardines on hand. They're cheap, easy, and healthy." But hold on. Lately, several major sardine brands have faced recalls for dangerous contamination. We're talking bacterial toxins, heavy metals, and even fake olive oil. What should be a healthy meal could actually be a serious health risk. Older adults are especially vulnerable. Botulism can paralyze breathing muscles. High sodium can spike blood pressure, and heavy metals strain the kidneys and liver. That's why today, I'm revealing 7 sardine brands you must avoid. But don't worry, I'll also share 2 safe and reliable brands so you can still enjoy sardines with peace of mind. Stay tuned to protect your health. Have you ever wondered what's really hiding inside that can of sardines in your pantry? We often think of them as a healthy, convenient snack, but today, I'm pulling back the curtain on 7 brands you should think twice about buying. As a doctor, I've seen firsthand how the wrong choice can have serious health consequences, especially for older adults. Let's get started. Coming in at number 7 is a name many Canadian families have trusted for decades: Clover Leaf. For years, these cans were marketed as safe, reliable, and wholesome. Parents packed them in school lunches, and seniors often kept them for quick, easy meals. But in 2021, a frightening discovery was made. Clover Leaf's flavored sardines, like their garlic and chive, and smoked jalapeno varieties, were recalled across Canada because of contamination with Clostridium botulinum, the bacteria that causes botulism. Now, let me explain why this is so critical, especially for seniors. Botulism isn't just a simple stomach bug. This bacteria produces a neurotoxin so powerful that even a microscopic amount can cause paralysis. It often starts with blurred vision or drooping eyelids, but can quickly progress to the lungs, making it difficult or even impossible to breathe. Without urgent medical treatment, botulism can be fatal within 24 hours. The most alarming part: the cans looked perfectly normal. No swelling, no dents, no warning signs at all. You could open a tin expecting a smoky, savory flavor, but instead, be exposing yourself to a deadly toxin. For my older patients, this is particularly dangerous. Imagine someone who is already on medication for high blood pressure or a heart condition. Their body is less resilient. A case of botulism could overwhelm their system far more quickly than it would a younger, healthier adult. So here's my doctor's tip. If you enjoy sardines, consider avoiding the flavored versions. The extra processing steps and added spices can increase the risk of contamination. Instead, choose simple sardines packed in olive oil or water. If you want extra flavor, add your own fresh herbs or a squeeze of lemon at home. You'll get better taste and far less risk. Next on our list, at number 6, is a brand well known across the UK and Europe, John West. For decades, this company has built its entire image around responsibly sourced seafood. You've probably seen their ads showing hard-working fishermen at sea, painting a picture of tradition, sustainability, and trust. But that image took a serious hit in 2022. John West sardines in olive oil were pulled from shelves across the UK and Europe due to microbiological contamination. That's the formal way of saying the cans contained dangerous, invisible bacteria. Let's think about what this really means for your health. For a healthy young adult, a foodborne illness might mean a few miserable days of stomach cramps and vomiting. But for seniors, the story is very different. Dehydration from vomiting can quickly lead to kidney strain. When you combine that with common medications like diuretics or blood pressure pills, the body can struggle to recover. I've personally cared for older patients who ended up in the hospital with severe dehydration from a simple foodborne infection. It's not just unpleasant, it can become life-threatening. According to the CDC, foodborne illnesses hospitalize over 100,000 Americans every single year. What was most troubling about the John West situation wasn't just the contamination itself, but how the recall was handled. There was no big public warning campaign, just a quiet press release that many shoppers probably never even saw. This means countless families may have continued eating contaminated cans, completely unaware of the risk. So here's my doctor's tip for this one. When buying any canned food, look for brands that value transparency. Some companies now publish their microbial testing results right on their websites. If a brand can't show you proof that its cans are safe, you have to ask yourself, why should you trust them with your health? Now for number 5, let's talk about a budget brand that nearly caused a tragedy in the United States, Al-Rashid. These sardines were often sold in small grocery stores and ethnic markets, typically costing less than $1 a can. For families on a tight budget, it looked like a very affordable source of protein. But in 2016, the FDA announced a major recall of Al-Rashid sardines due to suspected contamination with Clostridium botulinum *, the same deadly bacteria we talked about with clover leaf, and I can't stress this enough. Botulism is one of the most dangerous forms of food poisoning. It produces a toxin so strong it can paralyze your muscles, including the ones you need to breathe. Without immediate treatment in a hospital, it can be fatal. And the cans didn't always look spoiled. Yes, some consumers reported a sharp metallic or chemical smell, and the oil sometimes had a sour-looking sheen, but many other cans looked completely normal until they were opened, meaning seniors could easily mistake them for safe food. For older adults, this risk is magnified tenfold. Imagine a 70-year-old patient who is already on heart medication. Their body is under more stress, and their ability to fight off an infection is naturally lower. Just one forkful from the wrong can could mean a trip to the ICU, a ventilator, or worse. The CDC reminds us that while botulism is rare in the US, with fewer than 200 cases a year, nearly every single case is a life-threatening emergency. This brings me to a crucial doctor's tip. Cheaper is not always safer. If you want to enjoy sardines without risking your health, look for brands that have safety certifications or European-style quality stamps. In Europe, it's common practice for sardines to be frozen before canning, which kills parasites and reduces bacterial risk. Yes, these brands might cost a little more, but your health is worth far more than saving 50 cents on a can of fish. Stay tuned, because we're about to reveal the top 4 most dangerous sardine brands, and the details might just shock you. Thanks for watching, and if you're finding this information helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more health insights you can trust. See you in a moment. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that might surprise you, and it's sitting right in your pantry. We're talking about sardines. For years, we've been told they're a superfood, packed with omega-3s, calcium, and protein. And that's true, sometimes. But what if I told you that some of the most popular brands on grocery store shelves could be hiding serious health risks, especially for older adults? We're going to expose the 4 most dangerous sardine brands you should think twice about buying. We'll look at recalls, hidden toxins, and misleading labels that could be putting your health on the line. Stick with me, because the number 1 offender is something you'd never expect, and it's not about the fish at all. Let's get started with our 4th most dangerous brand, Beech Cliff. You've probably seen these iconic red cans stacked high at Walmart, Kroger, and even dollar stores. For decades, Beech Cliff, a brand owned by Bumblebee Foods, has been a go-to for many Americans, simply because it's cheap and it's everywhere. But that low price tag comes with a history. Back in 2010, a massive recall hit the news. Over 20,000 cases of Beech Cliff sardines were pulled from shelves nationwide after the FDA discovered a serious problem: loose seams on the cans. Now, you might think, a loose seam, what's the big deal? Well, it's a huge deal. Even a tiny, microscopic defect in a can's seal can create an entry point for a nasty bacteria called Clostridium botulinum *. This bacteria can multiply inside the can, producing a toxin that causes botulism, a rare but life-threatening illness. So, a can that looks perfectly fine on the outside could be a ticking time bomb on the inside. Beyond that alarming recall, customer complaints about Beech Cliff's quality have been piling up for years. People report opening cans and being hit with a metallic or chemical smell. The fish inside, described as gray, mushy, and slimy. I've even read reviews comparing the texture to cat food in oil that tastes like motor grease. That's not exactly an appetizing endorsement. But here's where it gets particularly concerning for our senior community. A single serving of Beech Cliff sardines can pack over 400 milligrams of sodium. That's nearly 20% of your daily recommended sodium limit in just a few small fish. If you're an older adult already managing your blood pressure or taking medication for heart disease, that sudden sodium spike can be dangerous. It can worsen swelling, cause dizziness, or even put extra strain on your heart. When you combine the botulism risk with the high salt content and poor quality, you have a trifecta of trouble. So here's my doctor's tip. If you see those bargain bin red cans, just skip them. Saving $1 isn't worth risking your health. Instead, look for sardines packed in pure olive oil, not cheap vegetable oil blends. European certified or small batch imports are often a safer bet, as they are typically frozen before canning, which helps kill parasites and ensures a better product. Moving on to our number 3 dangerous brand, and this one has a deceptive name, Grandma Sardines. With a name like that, you might picture something wholesome, a trusted family recipe passed down through generations. The reality couldn't be more different. Many Grandma Sardines are actually illegal imports that have completely bypassed FDA inspection and approval. What does that mean? There's no production code, no batch number, and absolutely no way to trace where the fish came from or how they were processed. You're essentially buying a mystery can. Some of these cans have faded labels or writing in foreign languages that are impossible for most shoppers to understand. And what's inside is just as concerning. Consumers have described opening these cans to a sour, metallic odor. The fish are often reported to be gray, mushy, and unappetizingly slimy. One person online even compared the experience to finding cat food left in a hot garage. That's not just a bad dinner, it's a serious health hazard. For older adults, the danger is significantly amplified. According to the CDC, seniors are 10 times more likely to die from a listeria infection compared to younger people. Many common medications, like diuretics or blood pressure pills, can weaken the immune system, making it much harder to fight off foodborne illnesses. The scariest part is that these unregulated cans are often placed on store shelves right next to legitimate, FDA-approved brands. It's easy to grab one without realizing you're gambling with your health. Without a USDA or FDA stamp of approval, you have no guarantee of safety. So, here's the tip. Always check the label before you buy. Look for clear lot codes, best by dates, and official certification stamps like FDA, USDA, or EU. If a can looks suspicious, it's dented, the label is faded, or it's missing basic information, leave it on the shelf. Spending a few extra dollars on a safe, regulated brand is a much smarter investment than risking a trip to the hospital. Now for our number 2 spot, a brand that might shock you, Wild Planet. At first glance, Wild Planet seems like the perfect choice. The packaging is premium, proudly displaying words like wild-caught, sustainably sourced, and no additives. It looks clean, responsible, and healthy. In fact, many of my own patients have told me, "Doctor, I only buy Wild Planet because I thought it was the cleanest option out there." However, independent lab tests have uncovered something alarming. Some Wild Planet sardines were found to contain arsenic levels over 100 micrograms per serving. To put that into perspective, arsenic is a toxic heavy metal. It was once a common ingredient in rat poison, and it's not something your body just flushes out. Arsenic accumulates over time, building up in vital organs like your kidneys and liver. For a young, healthy person, the effects might not be immediate, but for seniors, it's a completely different story. Think about someone who is already managing high blood pressure or taking medications that impact their kidney function. Adding hidden arsenic into their diet is like placing another heavy weight on an already fragile system. Over time, this accumulation significantly increases the risk of kidney damage, liver stress, and serious heart complications. What I find most troubling is that you won't find arsenic listed on the nutrition label. While the FDA does set limits for heavy metals in food, many critics argue that these limits are far more lenient in the United States compared to Europe. This means a product that would be considered unsafe and pulled from shelves overseas can still be legally sold in American grocery stores. So my advice here is to be a savvy consumer. Don't assume a premium label automatically means it's safe. If you want to keep enjoying sardines, look for brands that are transparent and voluntarily publish their heavy metal testing results. Also, choosing low sodium or no salt added options is always a smart move. Some European brands even provide batch-specific certifications, giving you an extra layer of peace of mind. And now, we've arrived at the number 1 most dangerous type of sardines. And here's the twist. The biggest danger isn't always the fish itself, but the oil it's packed in. We're talking about unbranded, bulk import sardines that use fake olive oil. Many of these bargain basement cans are labeled packed in olive oil, but lab tests have revealed a shocking truth. In some studies, up to 70% of the oil in these products wasn't olive oil at all. Instead, it was a cheap blend of soybean or sunflower oil. Even worse, in some cases, the oil was found to be completely rancid. This isn't just a matter of a bad taste. Consuming fake or spoiled oils can trigger a cascade of negative health effects. It can increase inflammation throughout your body, put significant stress on your kidneys, and even cause allergic reactions. For seniors who are already taking medications for blood pressure, heart disease, or kidney issues, this is like adding fuel to a fire. I've had older patients who believed they were making a heart-healthy choice by eating sardines, only to come into my office with worsened swelling, dizziness, or sudden spikes in their blood pressure. The culprit: the hidden sodium and poor quality, inflammatory oils in those cheap tins. One patient even told me he opened a can that smelled like motor oil instead of the fresh scent of olive oil. That's not food, that's a health hazard. What makes this even more dangerous is the total lack of accountability. These cans often have no country of origin, no batch codes, and no traceability whatsoever. The FDA has issued warnings about these types of bulk imports, but many still find their way onto the shelves of dollar stores and discount markets. Once they're sold, it's nearly impossible to track them back to their source. So, here is the most important tip of all. Do not be fooled by the words packed in olive oil on a generic label. Look for brands that specify extra virgin olive oil and carry official quality seals or certifications, especially from European sources, and trust your senses. If you open a can and the oil smells off, throw it out. Your health is not worth the gamble. Paying a little more for a reputable brand packed in genuine, high-quality olive oil is one of the best investments you can make for your heart and your overall well-being. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope this information empowers you to make safer, healthier choices at the grocery store. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And do not forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you do not miss our next video. Stay safe and eat well. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the world of canned sardines. I know, but hear me out. They're a powerhouse of protein and healthy fats, but not all cans are created equal. In fact, many are loaded with things you don't want, especially if you're watching your health. So, let's talk about two brands that are doing it right. First up is a brand you might know from outdoor gear, but their food line is just as impressive: Patagonia Provisions. If you're looking for a sardine brand that genuinely respects your health, this is one of the best choices out there. Unlike those mystery bargain cans, Patagonia's sardines come from traceable, well-managed fisheries. You actually know where your fish came from and how it was caught. Plus, they use real high-quality olive oil, not cheap, inflammatory blends. The fillets are firm and fresh, not slimy. Some food reviewers have even compared them to a tapas bar dish, rather than your typical canned fish. Most importantly, especially for anyone managing their blood pressure, Patagonia sardines have lower sodium levels. Get this, a single can of some cheap sardines can pack over 1,500 milligrams of sodium. That's almost 2/3 of your daily limit. For someone on blood pressure medication, that kind of sodium spike can be risky. Patagonia avoids this trap by keeping the sodium controlled and using better oils that are easier on your system. Here's a quick doctor's tip. Yes, Patagonia costs more, but what you're really paying for is peace of mind. You're repaying for the confidence that what S on the nutrition label is actually what S inside the can. If you're serious about eating sardines for their heart health benefits, this is one of the safest bets you can make. Next, let's talk about another excellent option: King Oscar. This is a brand with a legacy, trusted for over a century since it started in Norway way back in 1902. That kind of longevity and reputation really matters in the food world, and King Oscar continues to deliver consistent quality. So, what sets them apart? Like Patagonia, they offer traceable batches with clear labeling. They also use true olive oil, not fake blends, and their sodium content is much more balanced than the salt bombs you find in bargain brands. The fillets are firm and fresh tasting, without that weird chemical or cat food texture you sometimes get with cheaper sardines. For older adults or anyone watching their intake, the moderate sodium level makes a huge difference. Eating a can of King Oscar won't suddenly push your blood pressure into a dangerous zone. In fact, many nutritionists highlight this brand as a rare example of canned fish that is both safe and genuinely heart-friendly. And for our final Dr. S tip, if you want an affordable yet safe sardine brand for everyday eating without paying gourmet prices, King Oscar is an absolutely fantastic choice. So there you have it, two fantastic, trustworthy brands to look for on your next grocery run. Eating healthy shouldn't be a guessing game. Thanks so much for watching. Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Healthy Path. Today, we're talking about a popular pantry staple, canned sardines. They're often praised for being packed with protein, calcium, and those heart-healthy omega-3 south, but are all cans created equal? The truth is, not every can of sardines is safe. And this is a topic I feel very strongly about, especially for our older viewers. Many bargain or unregulated brands can hide some serious dangers. We're talking about risks like botulism, contamination with harmful bacteria, heavy metals, fake oils, and way too much sodium. For older adults, these risks are much more serious. What might cause a mild stomachache in a 25-year-old could lead to severe kidney strain, dizziness, or even a hospital visit for someone in their 70s. As your doctor, I want you to be informed. So, let's name some brands you should be cautious with. There have been recalls and issues associated with brands like Clover Leaf's flavored varieties, John West due to contamination concerns, and Al-Rashid for botulism risks. Others to watch out for include Beechcliff because of poor seals and high sodium, Grandma Sardines, which have been flagged as illegal imports, and even Wild Planet, which has faced questions about arsenic levels. And of course, always be wary of unbranded sardines that might be packed in mystery fake oils. So, what should you buy? I recommend looking for brands with a strong reputation for safety and transparency. Options like Patagonia Provisions and King Oscar are excellent choices. They provide full traceability, manage their sodium levels carefully, and use real high-quality olive oil. Here are some practical tips for your next grocery trip. First, always check the can for certification marks, like from the FDA, USDA, or the EU. Second, look at the nutrition label and aim for sodium levels under 400 milligrams per serving. A great tip is to avoid pre-flavored sardines. It's much safer to buy them plain and add your own herbs and spices at home. And this is crucial. If you open a can and it smells off, metallic, or rancid, please do not eat it. Just throw it away. Remember, the food you eat should nourish you, not put you at risk. For seniors, protecting your heart, your kidneys, and maintaining healthy blood pressure is paramount. Sometimes, spending that extra $1 or $2 on a quality brand can save you so much more in the long run and, most importantly, keep you healthier for longer. My final advice is this: make sardines a part of your diet only if they meet these high standards of safety and quality. Your health is far too important to gamble on a bargain tin. As your doctor, I truly care about your well-being, and the food choices you make today have a direct impact on your longevity. If this video helped you, please give it a like so more people can see this important health information. Do you and forget to subscribe to The Healthy Path for more evidence-based advice to keep you and your family healthy. And please, share this video with your loved ones, especially seniors, so they don't unknowingly buy unsafe sardines. Together, we can spread awareness and protect each other's health. Remember, your health is your greatest investment. Let's protect it wisely.